Hello fellow fighters, those of you with multiple sclerosis, MS, and those of you with new daily persistent headaches, NDPH. Both of which I have. You are either reading this on my blog, in Facebook, or listening to a text-to-speech version on YouTube. My name is Paul Lima, and I feel as if I should say something profound. But I haven't anything profound to say. I'm sick, you're sick. We're all sick. 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 Life isn't what it used to be, but life still is. Although I suppose it could be worse. Hospitals are filled with people with mild, moderate, and severe maladies. And so many people are dead and gone. But then I guess that's where we all end up, isn't it? But moving on. My MS condition started in my early 40s. That is when I was officially diagnosed with it, although I may have had minor symptoms before then. For 20 plus years, MS is what I've had to deal with. For the last 8 years, on top of my MS, I've had a new daily persistent headache. Oh joy. Oh joy. And if you can't tell, I'm being sarcastic. There is no joy. There are no cures for MS or NDPH. There are meds that some people with MS take to fight off relapses or to combat particular symptoms. Ironically, two people taking the same meds often have different reactions to them. The meds work for some people, don't work for others. Some folks have severe side effects, some don't. There are far fewer meds for people with NDPH. Some NDPH meds work a bit for some people, most do nothing at all. I have never taken any MS meds. When I was first diagnosed with MS, there were only 2 meds on the market and they weren't terribly effective. As time progressed, new MS meds were developed, but the nature of my MS, bad periods, not so bad periods, and even some pretty good periods, meant I really didn't have to think about meds. For my NDPH, I have tried 7 different meds including an injection, once a month for 6 months, that cost $5,000 per injection. The good news? The med was trying to get listed with insurance companies in Canada and so it was free. The bad news? It did absolutely nothing for my NDPH. So there you have it. 2 incurable illnesses. And I have both of them. At least I had 42 normal years. Years in which I went to school, worked, and had meaningful relationships. In addition, for the first 15 years I had relapsing remitting MS, RRMS. Different hits would come and go. Overall, I was able to work and take vacations, although I wasn't always at my best. I even went on a riverboat cruise to Europe for 3 weeks. It was grand. In fact, it was called the Grand European Riverboat Cruise. Could not do it today, even though my MS has settled down and is now mostly in my legs and feet. My legs ache, my feet are on fire, constantly. But I don't have the fatigue or hits to other parts of my body, including my eyes, that I used to have. And I've never had cognitive issues. Some people with MS walk into the kitchen to get a cup of coffee and come out a couple of minutes later, no mug in hand, wondering what the heck they were doing in the kitchen. As for me, I've moved from RRMS to a stable version of SPMS, secondary progressive MS. So I'm better than many and worse than some. That's MS, the snowflake disease. Different for all who have it. In fact, my NDPH is, in some ways, worse than my MS. My MS has me walking our dog with a cane, but I know many people with MS who are in scooters or wheelchairs, and even some folks who are bedridden. My NDPH, on the other hand, is so 24/7 painful and debilitating that it has, as I've said, forced me to retire. I am 68, 3 years past the official retirement age. But I was a writer and a trainer and expected to go on until, I don't know, until I died. Or at least much longer than I've gone on for. I can't write anymore as I find the process exhausting. I am using speech to text to record this as my fingers don't want to work the keyboard, other than a bit of editing, before posting this on my blog. Then I will use text-to-speech to make a YouTube video. As for training, not a hope in hell that I can stand in front of a group of people and train them like I used to. But I don't know why I am telling you all of this. I think I'm doing it more for me than for you. I'm filling in time. I have played all the games on my tablet. Done a bit of social media. Ate some chocolate, even though it's not even lunchtime. And now I'm doing this. I may watch a video after or read a bit. I don't know. It's hard to get up and out of my chair and do stuff when walking hurts and the headache is constant. Yes, walking hurts. But I walk the dog. In fact, I look forward to doing so. Gets me out of the house and gets me moving. I do it, sitting down every 15 or 20 minutes or so for a rest. The dog, a giant schnauzer named Quinn, is 9 years old, so he's happy to sit every now and then too. Especially this summer, which has been so freaking hot at times. We basically walk from water bowl to water bowl on Roncesvalles Avenue. Nice of store owners to put out water bowls for dogs. As for me, I drink at the water fountain in High Park or in Soro Rand Park, in Toronto. But I feel like I should apologize, as I've been going on with nothing profound or meaningful to say. In fact, nothing funny or entertaining to say either. I may just delete this post, or maybe I'll put it up so people can see how boring a chronic illness makes one, or at least makes me. But I digress. I know people who have had MS or NDPH in their late teens, early 20s, or early 30s. I feel so sorry for them having to live with this crap at such a young age. At least I feel like I've had a life. But during that life, for 42 years, I didn't understand people who got sick. Understand? Is that the right word? I guess I didn't relate to people who were chronically ill or in hospitals. What you discover when illness happens to you is that the world is not made for you. It's not as if I expect anybody to go out of their way to make the world for me. I really don't. There's nothing I can think of asking anybody to do for me. I just know that I don't fit in anymore. Can't work, can't play, can't do much of anything other than walk the dog and take out the garbage. Okay, I make myself breakfast and a little lunch if I haven't eaten enough chocolate to fill me. But why do I chow down on chocolate? I think I do it to help stave off boredom, in that it gives me something to do. I really don't know. So I guess that's the rest of my life, walking the dog, unless my legs totally give out, playing games on my tablet, doing a bit of social media and eating too much chocolate. Okay, it's not as if I'm stuffing my face with junk food. I'll go weeks, even a month or so, without buying anything sweet. It's just sometimes I get down and chewing on chocolate doesn't quite get me up, but I don't feel quite as down either. I guess it moderates me. What moderates you? Or gets you up? Or gets you through life? What can you do? What can't you do? Let me know in the comments section on my blog or on YouTube or on Facebook if you are reading this as a Facebook post. Or if so inclined, feel free to email paulmslima@gmail.com. I'll reply. After all, replying gives me something to do. I think, for me, that's the bottom line, doing. Doing while sick. When I first retired because I couldn't work, I started to write fiction. I wrote 3 novels: Chronic, Jerry and the Acorn Legacy, which has actually been picked up by an historical fiction publisher. Okay, a one-line commercial, if you don't mind. If so inclined, you can read about my books at paullima.com. Commercial done. I enjoyed writing the novels, but I am too tired to write anymore. Tired? I don't know if that's the right word. Exhausted. Out of energy. Can't focus. For instance, I was going to type this blog post, but my fingers didn't want to work the keyboard, which is why I am using speech to text. Once written and posted in my blog, a strange thing is going to happen. I'm not going to have the energy or inclination to read the final version for YouTube, So I'll use text-to-speech to create the audio version, and post it to YouTube. So that's it for me. I feel like I should read this over and see if I said anything interesting, exciting, humorous or profound. I don't think I have. Still, I've decided to post it. It's my way of saying hello to all my fellow fighters. I don't know why we call people with MS warriors. I guess it's because we battle the illness. I don't know what you call people with NDPH, but we too are fighters. We all battle our chronic conditions. Often people have said to me, "Oh, you're so brave." I confess I have to chuckle when they say that. No, I reply. I'm not brave. I have no choice, no freaking choice, but to put up with this. So my comrades, those of you without a choice. But wait, that thought actually leads me to another one. I know people with MS and NDPH who are told by friends, or former friends, or family members, I guess you can't have former family members, that they are faking their illness. Trust me, if you're well and reading or listening to this, there's no faking a chronic illness. Who in their right mind would fake this crap? I love the work I did, the work I can no longer do. I loved writing and training. I loved riding my bicycle, something I have not done for over 25 years. I would not fake an illness to give up things that I so thoroughly enjoyed. Anyway, maybe that's grounds for a new blog post? How to deal with people who say we're faking it? I don't know. I want to say just tell them to piss off, but if they were good friends or if they are family members, that's difficult to do, isn't it? All you can do, I suppose, is tell them how you're feeling and hope you get through. Or hey, tell them to read this blog post or watch the YouTube video. Or to get the book, Everything You Need to Know About MS, paullima.com/books. Written by a former journalist with MS. Email paulmslima@gmail.com and ask for the free PDF. Happy to send it to you. Maybe, just maybe, if we persist in educating those who doubt us, they'll begin to understand we're sick, we're disabled, we're not having any fun. That we wouldn't wish what we are dealing with on anybody. I am not brave. I am sick. I have no choice but to deal with this. I suppose in some way I do have a choice. I can sit on the couch and do nothing, not even write this blog post. Not walk the dog. Not take out the garbage. Some folks with chronic illnesses don't even have those choices. Or I can do what I can do, which is not a lot. For instance, I'm still talking. I could have shut up 10 minutes ago. Or not done this at all. But I do what I can do. Not a hell of a lot. But at least something. What can you do? What are you doing? What did you do that you can no longer do? What do you miss doing? Let me know, if not for you then for me, as that gives me something to do, to read and to reply to you. Anyway, take care of yourself. Be the best you can be. And yes, I know, you really have little to no control over that. But do take care as best you can. Bye now.